hurricane, a tidal wave. Excellence, perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Can get you out of my head again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head. Get you out of my head again.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Pulls a coin and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. Tell me this time is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you anyway.
I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat at time, I cross the lines just to tell you, don't lead the way, don't leave a sign. Then I drown with a traveling parade. I feel like I'm fading.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to your favorite Sunday sports stream point of view. I'm Bobby Munson, and joined this week by the man beside me. He is Mr. Andre C. How you doing, Andre?
I'm doing just fine. A little bit tired this morning, but doing all right. Doing all right.
You bet. And then across the pond and down below me, it's my mate Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Tua Tagovailoa is the go-to football. That's why I'm wearing my Miami Dolphins shirt. He's not. He also needs to learn when he tackles not to go head first. Absolute plonker.
I saw the greatest meme of somebody just doing like random everyday tasks using their head.
Yeah.
Just making fun of Tua.
Yeah, literally, I think that Tua realizes that he's Hawaiian and somehow he wants to be half Samoan at the same time and just throwing his head through everything. But no, it's been a great week, Bobby. Manchester United fully unveiled their new manager. Reading won a game, which is very nice, and I enjoy seeing Reading win. Boxing happened the other night. I watched a bit more boxing last night as well. After the Tyson fight, I watched some more boxing. Saudi put on a show for the welterweights, I think it was last night. And then today, there's no football because international break. I hate my life. And England are playing today. But apart from that, it's been a good weekend. And no politics talk. So that's even better for chat.
There we
That's
go.
positive for us.
Hopefully we'll get SDG back in the chat that way. But yeah, it was an interesting weekend, and I know, Mark, you had messaged about this. I know we're on two different sides of the fence on this, but yeah, I mean, close nonetheless. So I want to give you the opportunity to speak because Andre, myself, and Ed, after the fight on Friday, were able to talk about what went down in the fight, but in particular, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor and the decision made in this one. Mark, I wanted to give you the floor here for a bit to explain your side in the defense of Katie Taylor here.
I think she won, and I think it was pretty obvious how she won. And I think it was a close fight. Both women put on an absolute banger of a match to show women's boxing in a great light moving forward. And I think this should be a catalyst for Netflix and other companies to showcase more women's boxing around the world. You've got the Americas are producing some incredible talented women in the boxing world, and the UK is coming up as well, and Ireland as well at the same time. But watching that fight the other night, and I agree with some of your points where you were saying that Amanda Serrano did the bigger hits, and she did, but she wasn't doing the punches that the judges were always going to score on. So here's the difference between judges and actual boxing and what people should really look at. It's the actual boxing. But judges always go by the most impactful punches, not by how many was landed. Watching the fight as well, and I'm going to compare this to another fight I watched last night. It was Chris Billum-Smith. He had a fight against a southpaw in a Mexican, I think his name was something Guerrero or Gutierrez. It was one of them. And going into a cruiserweight fight. So the Mexican was a southpaw, and Chris Billum-Smith is an orthodox. And it was the same way as what Katie Taylor did in her fight, getting his head right up against the cheek and going for those punches every single time. There was some standoffish jabs as what they were doing, but it was every time. His head was in by his cheek, going for it as well. And I want to say as well, and if you watch the fight, which I know you two did, and the people others as well, Amanda Serrano had the bigger punches, but the judges will look more for technique and for the jabs and for the combinations than they will do for the bigger punch. Now, Amanda Serrano, and there is two things I hated about this match. One, the commentary, thought was utterly, and we get called over here, British biased, right? The commentary, and this is the first time I'm going to say this for a very long time, but Morello was horrible in that match. I did not enjoy the way he was commentating on that. He's a commentator. He's not a pay-by-play. He has to learn to shut his mouth and let the people who do the boxing do the talking. And that's the one thing I took away with that. And the other one was when the people kept saying, this is a robbery. This is the biggest robbery going. It wasn't a robbery. It was Katie Taylor using the judge's advantage by using the combinations, going to the body, moving it around. And the good thing not the good thing, but one thing Katie Taylor did was when the busted open eye come, which was an accident, because they were both going in and it was the same clinches and the same positions as I watched last night and what I was seeing as well. And Andre Ward, who was with Kate Scott, who was formerly known as Kate Abdo. If you don't know who that is, UK fans will know it, US fans will know it for the Champions League broadcast that she does on CBS. Andre Ward, who's a undefeated Hall of Fame fighter, said on there, and I wanted to hear his perspective on this, said it's not a robbery. We need to stop saying when your person that you thought should have won lost, it's a robbery. It's not a robbery. Katie Taylor won that fight because of the combinations she did and because of the way that she then changed the tactics into her favor. And that's what I thought. And then we have Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. It went as I expected. It wasn't going to be great. Never going to be. This was all about Mike Tyson wanting to get out there and shake whatever he had in his brain, mental health-wise, to try and get himself into a situation where he doesn't have to think about life. That was what it was. Wasn't a great fight. Jake Paul did what he needed to do. Mike Tyson, first 30 seconds looked like he was going to kill him and then just died after that. Couldn't do anything more. But after watching that, Katie Taylor deserved the win. But I want to see match 3, and I want to see it in a massive stadium in the UK, Wembley Stadium. Old Trafford or anywhere, or in Ireland as well. They got the Aviva Stadium where they do all of the big events in Ireland as well. And I think the ladies deserve to main event and go again for the third time. But I still think it would be the same outcome again. You can't go. The issue with me, right? I want to get both your opinions on this. The issue with me, if it's 2-0 to a person, what's the point of having a third? That's my opinion. You can do it for money. Why is the boxing culture massive in the UK? It's always been. It's one of those where we've been brought up on it. We had Lennox Lewis that started all things off. We've had one of the biggest fighters in the world in Lennox Lewis. Then it got down to Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua in those times. And we've always been over in this country over here. If you need to defend yourself, you go to boxing. And you do that. Lennox Lewis was good. He wouldn't be able to do now, but he was good for his time for that. But always in the UK, I was it as well. I was getting bullied at school. My mother went, "Why don't you, instead of getting punched at school, why don't you go somewhere and I pay money for you to get punched in the head by strangers?" So that was very much, that's what it's always been over here. Always been a massive culture. Always been a place where if you're in a gang or a bad community, they send you, the families always send you to boxing. It's just basically, it's like the army over here for us. You learn discipline, you learn respect, you learn different ways of life. So over here, that's why boxing's massive over here.
Yeah, and I mean, I can attest to that coming from an English family. I mean, my dad was a boxer, his father was a boxer, yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, I have learned that way. I have grown up on it and everything like that, too. I mean, I respect your opinions. I do believe Serrano landed more. I do believe that Serrano was more effective. I would make the argument that the third one relies on the fact that maybe, okay, I'll agree with you. And you got some great points. And I'll agree with the fact that, yeah, calling it a robbery is a little bit much and everyone getting controversial over it. I think the fact that we got this massive match that, again, yeah, it was part two, but many of us never saw the first one. And I think that now that they've got the world's attention, that's why you do a third one, not just for the money, but for the fact that now you've got the world wanting to pay attention to this. So you highlight two incredibly talented women in a main event boxing matchup because you've got the world's attention. And I think that you also highlight on that show another match between Barros and I'm blanking on the other name right now too, but the title fight that we had prior to Ramos, sorry. I believe that fight should also have another part, especially coming to a draw like it did. I would like to see a conclusive fight happen between those two gentlemen. And again, Netflix could sanction it, even if it were the UK, like you said, or anything like that, do it. But let Netflix do some of this once they figure out the damn server problems, because good God, that was horrible. That was really hard.
I never had an issue, but to the point of you were talking about how she played to the judges, I am very uneducated with boxing in how it's judged, how it is, because again, I've never been much of a boxing fan. I've always been an MMA fan, and under MMA rules, especially now, the most effective strikes are the most effective strikes. No. I was watching on Netflix. Sir. I have Netflix. So I watched. I had no problem all night long. There was a couple times where it slowed. It was slow a bit and it pixelated a bit, but I never had buffer. It never like paused on me, nothing. So I was fine. But like I've always watched MMA. So like in my brain, all the judging is like MMA, where it's effective striking first, and then control, and then overall in things like that. So. Again, that's my brain always goes to that judging, right? So
So when I was being taught boxing, when you do amateur boxing, they basically go, you don't need to swing hard. You don't need to swing. You don't need the big punches. You don't need to knock someone out. What you need to do is combinations, left, right, left, and you need to do the combinations to the body, to the head. If you do the combinations, the judges will favor you more, even if that means that if the other opponent does 4 jabbers to you and you do one big punch and he stumbles back and goes, oh no, what's going on? And then you go again but miss and he hits another 4 combinations, it's going to go in his favor because he's hitting the boxing technique. Boxing's not meant to be according to amateur and when you're brought up, it's not about knocking someone out clean. Boxing's all about boxing the opponent, as in the boxing techniques, how you land the punches, your footwork, your technique. That's what the judges will be looking at. And when I saw, and I also want to say, is that whoever the trainer is for Amanda Serrano needs to learn to shut his mouth, because what he did was absolutely disgraceful and disrespectful to Katie Taylor. And you don't do that. You could do that in the press conference. You don't do that in an arena. And you don't do that in front of someone that is one of the greatest women's boxers that has ever graced this God's green earth. Now, before anyone says this is biased because it's over here, it's not. The Irish hate the English. The English hate the Irish. We do not like each other. We hate each other. I could have easily gone with Serrano in this match, but doesn't boxing start with footwork? Absolutely. You've got to get your feet planted right. You've got to get your knees planted right. And it's not all about the power in your arms. It's about the power in your hips, of the way you rotate your body into doing it. And if you look at some of the best, look, Mike Tyson tried it. He done the old duck and weave like he used to try and do, very slow in how he's doing it. But boxing's all about maneuver. Tyson Fury is the best person to look at. I can't stand Tyson Fury. He annoys that, and I wish he loses. And he's from the UK, but he's from England. But at the same time, Tyson Fury, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Money Mayweather, if you watch their footwork and their technique in the middle of that ring, they do not stand still. When you watched Amanda Serrano, she plants her, and I watched it a couple of times because I really liked it, and she plants and then swings for it, where Katie Taylor is constantly in and out, boxing the stomach, over the top, and then she had that stumble in the first round where the bell didn't go. That could have been night Katie Taylor in that first round at the end of it. But it's always start with your footwork. Your footwork in a boxing ring is sometimes more important than the power you have got in your hips and in your hands. Footwork is first, and then the speed of your fists a second. That is what you're trained at in boxing over here.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Again, I didn't like. Again, I don't. I watched a couple Tyson matches in the '90s when I was a kid with my dad, and watched him knock people out. Right. That's what my brain is boxing. I watched the next boxing match I think I saw was Conor McGregor in that travesty of a fight. Again, I don't watch boxing. I was always an MMA guy. So I it's nice to actually understand what it is. Yeah.
And it's the same type of thing. You can do the same type of principles between MMA and boxing to a certain extent. MMA is all about moving around the ring and finding the best opportunity, always constantly moving, always constantly trying to find the best opportunities. You get some of the MMA fighters that constantly using a jab to get the range of their opponent to then be able to knock them out. It's the same. Look at John Jones, for example, winning his fight last night. Absolute bellend, but he also is one of the greatest heavyweights that's ever existed. But now he needs to actually fight a proper heavyweight in Tom Aspinall to declare it all the time. But it's up to John Jones now to actually grow some balls and actually have a fight to do that. But it's one of those. John
He's
Jones,
too big of a bitch. He wants to fight Pereira. Pereira to come up now. And I'm like, no, fuck that. I want to see Tom Aspinall, a man who actually deserves a man who is the interim champion. To me, the real goddamn champion of that division, because I'm sorry, John Jones is a sham of a champion for that division.
Yeah, and it's very much of, very much his box is the same thing. It's all about technique. It's all about, and if you watch the techniques, and I saw her tweet afterwards, Amanda Serrano saying, "Oh, and I still lost by the amount of punches she landed." Yes, because you're throwing yourself. You're not doing the judges. That's the one thing in boxing you've got to learn. Tyson Fury rarely knocks people out, but he will go by what the judges that are going to be in the arena, which are very much of stick and move, jab, 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 move, unless he's facing Usyk and loses. But it's very much one of those. Boxing is very controversial in the way it still does its point system. Very much in the 70s, 80s style. They haven't moved with the time, and they're still going to get things wrong because they haven't moved with the time. But I do think that Katie Taylor was the right winner in that. Amanda Serrano also deserves a lot of respect for what she did in that ring, and her coach needs to shut up and go away and never talk again.
All right. Well, all these things aside, I want to go back to this one that.
Did you see? We'll go to that in a sec. But did you see the because it's Jake's Paul promotion that has Amanda Serrano on his car? Did you see that they last minute tried to get into Katie Taylor's head before she walked out to the ring?
No.
Did anyone see it? So what happened is when you walk out to the ring, you get tickets or people that walk out with the crew. Mm-hmm. What they did was they stopped Eddie Hearn, who is a massive promoter from the UK. A lot of people hate him. I love him. Find him the most entertaining man that's ever existed. But they tried to stop him and some of his crew walking out to the ring. And the dad turned full Irish, by the way. He went full Irish. I haven't heard that full Irish in a very long time. He said he's coming out. He's doing it. You need to get on with it. And they made them stay at the back longer to try and get the psychology in. Clever, but they tried it and it failed in the end. But no.
Yeah. All right. To go back to what SDG's asking about with the server problem, should WWE be concerned? I think
no.
But at the same time, I mean, there's got to be a concern. Watching it and hearing
NFL
about it, there has to be some initial concern, but they're going to be on top of it too. That's the thing. They're going to be saying we cannot afford this, because you got to think, and I think the concern maybe not so much with the weekly programming, but say we get to a premium live event where you could get a lot more casuals coming in to watch WrestleMania, especially with it being, like for us in Canada, the UK, anybody like that that's getting the premium live events as part of the Netflix plan. You're going to have that influx of viewership. However, I think the WWE/TKO Sport is going to have observed what happened, been on the phone with the executives at Netflix, assuring that everything is placed to make it smooth once they go live. You could also imagine too, the NFL, and we brought this up on Friday night as well. You can sit there and think, maybe Christmas Day, not a lot of people going to tune into these NFL games. I beg to differ. I honestly think Netflix was genius in putting these things on, because what is the biggest tradition in the United States on Thanksgiving? It's watching football. So you got all these people who like sitting around Christmas Day, drinking, eating good food. And do they want to watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation for the 9 millionth time? I mean, yes. I would personally, but I think that there's a lot of people out there that are going to want to tune in to a couple of football games live on Netflix. So it's, again, I think between the NFL and the WWE, they're going to be on the horn to the Netflix executive saying, we can't afford to have these issues. We need to make sure this is cleared up and assure that we're running smoothly before December 25th.
And you could remember, they crossed over 120 million people at the same time streaming this event. NFL is possible to see that.
No,
I think it's a possibility. WWE will never get 100 million people. Even WrestleMania will never see 100 million people watching WrestleMania. I'm sorry.
You do. No. I'm going to say this now. You do realize that Netflix, when it comes to WWE, it's going all around the world. Australia. They're not going, you don't have your, there's going to be more than 120 million. And I promise you this now, there's going to be more. Everyone tuned in for the Mike Tyson fight to see Jake Paul get knocked out. With WrestleMania, if you're going to do The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, which is going to look like it's going to happen. And I also spoke to Tom Colicue about this as well. And I said to him, look, is this a concern? He goes, WWE have spoken to Netflix. And he says they are slightly concerned with what they did. But Netflix have reassured that this will never be a problem again. And I said, what about the NFL? And he went, the NFL, and he knows nothing about the NFL side, but apparently they're not that worried because they know that they're not going to be getting 120 million for Christmas Day. They know that they don't get that near half of that. If they had the World Cup on Netflix, everyone needs to be crapping themselves because that's over 1 billion people that will be watching.
I kind of agree with what STG is saying here, though. Saying never is setting themselves up. In a sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, especially in a potential 5-year contract.
Well, but in those 5 years, they can I expect Netflix right now is just contracting so many server farms around the world right now.
Of course,
just to be hosting for them now. They until they can get their own, like they're good. And you're going to see Netflix, I think, over these next year or two, especially if you're seeing more NFL come to them like Prime has and things like that. If this NFL thing works out on Netflix on Christmas Day, and they get regular games every week, you're going to see them. You're going to see Netflix building new server farms in multiple places in the world, along with contracting out to server farms to help them pump things up around the world to really pump these, to not have this shit happen again.
Yeah, but and I thought about this as well, but I was like, this event for me was a tester for Raw. This event was a tester. This was an event that goes, right, what happens and how many people and what will happen to us? They've now discovered that their servers that they've got can't handle it. So now they're going to go, right, we're going to get way too many, way more than probably what we ever should, just to make sure that when we get this, because we're paying £5 billion, that could rise more than that if WWE extend longer with Netflix.
Well, $5 billion for the first 5.
Yeah,
years.
and then
the option to go to 10, then the option to go to 10 for another $5 billion, and the option to go to 20 for another $10 billion.
Yeah,
like it's literally $1 billion a year for the possibly the next 10 or 20 years, which is crazy money.
Yeah, and so it's very much of Netflix needs to go. We need to make changes here to make sure that we don't lose this, because WWE can easily go, all right, we'll go somewhere else.
Amazon.
Yeah, they will go somewhere else that will be able to handle what they're looking for. But WWE will be able to pull, because I think people don't realize that this is the US will have Raw. The UK, Europe, everywhere else, all around, and I think Canada as well, will be having every single show, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all documentaries, all PLEs, all people around the world going to one place at once, especially with how big WWE's getting and going and the storylines that are happening. This is a possibility that Netflix need to go, we need to get the unlimited amount of unlimited that we can hit unlimited in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right to say that it was a test, because they've seen how big and how upticking. Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I was pissed. Like when it started having problems, like, so for the first 2 fights, we were fine. It was running smooth, full HD quality. We were going great. And then it just dropped. Like it did, like Andre said, it slowed and went pixelated at first, and then it completely dropped and we couldn't reload at all. And in fact, to the point where it crashed my Netflix application entirely at one given time. We pay for the top tier Netflix. I have top tier internet, all these kind of things. So it's not on my end. I did speed tests. It said, but my speed was very fast. I'm good. So I was pissed as somebody who pays and subscribes, who sat down to watch from the beginning, that all of a sudden the influence screwed me out of watching this thing. Kind of. I mean, I was fortunate enough that Ed could share through StreamYard here because his connection, even though with some issues, was still working. Top tier 56K internet. Yeah, I got a TCP IP put in just the other day. But
I've got basic. I have the top end cable internet in my area, which is pretty shit. And I other than the slight pixelations at time, and I also pay for the lowest tier of Netflix, the $7 streaming 720p with ads, and I never had an issue. So
yeah, it's a real kick in the pants to us otherwise.
You live in the middle of nowhere. You live in Saskatchewan. It's the middle of nowhere. So you really
shouldn't make a difference. I've got a goddamn fiber connection right to my house with a category 8 cable going from my TV to my fiber.
I have coaxial cable and I had no problem. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You live in the middle of nowhere. So
it's Netflix. It's not Saskatchewan on this one. It's fucking Netflix.
I know. I'm just being a dick.
The funniest thing is, right, talking of Saskatchewan, right? So I was watching Grown Ups the other day with my wife. Yeah. And I don't know whether you've seen it, but Grown Ups, one of the kind of, and then my wife goes, when he goes, "Hey, I'm from Saskatchewan," when he does that voice, the lifeguard, But he's just saying, and my wife goes, "That's not a real place, is it?" I went, "Yeah, Bobby lives there."
Yeah.
Well, it's
You-
Saskatoon, not Saskatchewan. It's Saskatoon,
Oh,
well,
oh,
Saskatoon's the city, Saskatchewan's the province, but yeah.
but not
But like
Saskatchewan.
but you know, it's
Oh.
funny how much we get mentioned in television shows,
Yeah.
movies, and stuff all the time. Like even in the Deadpool and Wolverine, we were mentioned in there. I won't repeat exactly what was said. Go watch Deadpool and Wolverine if you want the exact saying of what was said in that. But yes, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and it is real. It is very real. It's a very big land. It's a very big land with nobody living in it at all.
Oh, I tell you, I have.
You can drive through that province for 6 hours and not see a single goddamn thing, and watch your dog run away for about 10 days. So
You know, people say that, but it's okay.
How
Like,
flat
so
it is.
the main strip of Saskatchewan, where the bulk of population are, you're 100% correct. But when you head to the north of Saskatchewan and everything, you get into a lot of foresty area, a lot of beautiful areas that people don't think of Saskatchewan for, which is weird enough. Like, we actually have a very unique landscape, but a lot of it's almost virtually inhabitable in this province, especially once you get certain distance up north. So I was seeing a client on Tuesday, and we went 5 hours northeast to go and see this particular client. When we got to the 3-hour portion of the drive, there was a strip of 2 hours where there's absolutely no cellular communication. So it's like you're praying the vehicle doesn't break down, because there's nothing there either. Like, you can go for miles and miles and miles and not see a soul up in this area and stuff like that. So it's a crazy land.
The same thing here in Alberta. If you go north of Fort McMurray, you're taking your life in your hands to know, because like past Fort McMurray, it's so undeveloped up north of there. It's much less undeveloped. But in between, say Edmonton to Fort McMurray / Grand Prairie, things have been developed along the way in between. But north of there, you're good fucking luck.
Yeah.
Good luck getting in the Northwest Territories.
And to what I was just gonna say, to what STG saying about us getting ripped in TV shows and movies due to the name. Yeah, that, and sometimes it's because people you don't realize are from here have the connection to Saskatchewan. For example, The Simpsons consistently makes jokes about Saskatchewan because Matt Groening's father was from Saskatchewan, so that's why he's well versed in the knowledge of Saskatchewan itself and why those jokes come about throughout The Simpsons. So, sorry, Mark.
No, I've just got a bone to pick with Andre. Why have you got to pick?
Give me your bone, Mark. Give me your bone.
Oh, you naughty bastard. Why have you picked such a shit hockey team to support?
Because I blame my and tread lightly. He is.
No, I know. That's why I'm not going to.
Blame my father, who grew up just outside of Montreal, and when I was born, literally put a jersey on me from the day I was born, and I had no choice. I'm a Habs fan through and through because of my father, who raised me a Habs fan.
So I download the NHL app, and I said in the Discord, I said, what team should I support? Because I don't support anyone. So Andre went, come on, join the bandwagon. I went, all right, I'll join it. And I follow them and everything. And I get notifications before a game goes on. So normally I will go to bed. And then when I wake up in the morning, I look at my phone going, oh, right, come on then. Let's hope for a win. And I lost again. I'm like, what's going on here? Bottom of the Atlantic Division.
We suck so much.
Yeah.
Oh.
STG says, like me and the Canucks, I'm born in BC. My dad was watching Canucks games for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
When you're raised it, like, I don't know what your history with football is. Was your dad you're a Reading fan, right?
Yeah.
Was your dad a Reading fan?
No.
Okay, but like again, for some people, it's how you're raised. It passed through family sometimes. I don't know if it's for Bobby too, or his teams. I don't know if it's passed through family. Sometimes passed through family, and I have buddies. Like, I'm one of my best friend's older brother, Adam. Like vehemently rebelled against his father, who was a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and just to make his dad mad, he became a Habs fan, just to piss his dad off, because he was like, "No, screw you, I'm becoming a Habs fan." Plus, we had the better team at the time too. In the late '80s, early '90s, we did have the better team, so Habs had but he did it just to rebel against his father.
So for me, my dad, I put very question speech marks there because it's very loose, that word for him, was a Liverpool fan. And my very ever first game was in 1996. I was 3 or 4. 96, 97, one of them. It was Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Because we lived near Crystal Palace, I went to it. I still slightly remember it, not a lot. But then we moved to Reading when I was 6. And my very ever first game was in 1999, watching Reading versus Newcastle in a pre-season friendly. And because it was local. For me, and Bobby will know this, in the UK culture, it's very much of whatever you live near or whatever you grew up near is who you support. You don't support, if you're born in London, you don't support like a Man United or Liverpool because you are then classed as a fake fan. You support a London club what you're near. So for me, I was brought up and raised in Reading. I live in Reading. I have a season ticket at Reading, and that's who I support. I could never, ever support any other team. If I did, then I would have to thoroughly throw myself off a building.
At the same time, I mean, with that said, you will still watch other games and observe and be, okay, this was well played,
Yeah.
But as soon as they're against your team, it's like, goddamn plonkers, like, like they become the biggest enemies of you and stuff. Again, my love for Manchester United more so came about my brother's fascination with watching them in the 90s. So we kind of started watching them. If it was for club football prior to that, obviously it was Southampton, but I mean, that's like watching paint dry sometimes, cheering for them. Yeah, I know you'd think that. Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever, that's where the family's from. So I have again, like you say, no choice, right? No. But we ended up rooting for Man United because that's kind of what we grew up on. And I reluctantly put this on the screen because the slam against my team here.
Well, no, I disagree with STG. And as a loyal Habs fan, the Toronto Maple Leafs are far better than to equate them to the Dallas Cowboys. No,
bastard.
They at least have a overall talented team, not just relying on one goddamn person who's now injured.
No, I think what he's saying is that it's not about like now they're talking about the history of them. Yeah, they're talking about history.
Well, you could say the same thing about the Habs. As a Habs fan, I cling on to we're the last Canadian team in this club in 1993.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a sad statistic.
And now you got me supporting them, and I support Miami. My North American teams are not doing well. Let's put it that way.
No, you, dude, you are a sadist in the fact for North American football or North American, buddy.
Yeah, I really, and also I'm also that for Reading because I've seen them in the Premier League and we've done well, but over the past 10 years, absolutely horrific. But not as bad as the Dallas Cowboys because they suck.
They do.
Makes me very happy.
Well, speaking of the Cowboys, gentlemen, do we dare start the NFL stuff?
Let's go. Oh, hold on. I've got to get my child's toy out.
Oh, Bobby, can you give me a moment?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
He's going to get the proper one.
Well, while Andre's doing that, we'll just throw that on the screen so everybody is quite aware of why Mark's got that chip on his shoulder right now. Yeah, he's pulled quite ahead. Yeah. What has Andre done?
Actually, Andre has done better.
Yeah, he got some.
Andre has done better than what Bobby and Ed have done over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Literally, if I
Ed and
remember
I-
correctly.
Ed and
I'm
I
not
have
very
really
close
dropped
up.
the ball recently.
Yeah, he actually has. Oh, I don't want to look.
I'm just
Yes!
doing
Yes!
my best Mark impersonation right now.
Andre can join me. 'cause
Kind of a real title, by the way.
This is
No,
a kid's title I
this
had
is
as
the
a child.
WWE World. This is the WWE World Heavyweight, not the WCW.
And this is the one I brought from Toys R Us about 10 years ago for a tenner. 10, 12 plus years ago this was. This is no one ever lie. I think I brought this about 15 years ago when my brother was little, and I think I brought this because I wanted to do a championship matches on the trampoline against him. I think that's the reason why I brought this. And this will be...
Yeah, I had all those too when I was in high school with my friends. We took my buddy Adam, or my buddy Josh, his older brother Adam, had all the foam belts, and from when he had his own little backyard wrestling company in Cold Lake, they moved here, and me and my friends started our own backyard wrestling company and took all his foam belts for our titles.
We had like a mini ladder. I would say mini ladder. It was bigger than the trampoline, and I used to think I was Jeff Hardy and Swanton Bomb off it. And not only that, we used to get cardboard boxes, and we used to put them up, and they were the tables, and used to go through them.
Nice.
When my kids get a little bit older, they will be going through those cardboard boxes as well.
What you do?
Exactly. It's a rite of passage of life.
Yeah. Top 3 belts of all time was the WCW World Heavyweight. I don't disagree. It's a nice belt. Behind the bald WWF Jackson, the bald eagle. Sorry, yeah, but yeah, that bald eagle one to the one I grew up on. So that was the initial one when it comes to world championships that comes to mind for me personally.
When I became a fan, it was that just perfect circle WWF title.
Yeah, that was mine.
The Triple H one.
Yeah.
That's when I became a fan, like 99, 2000. That was a beautiful belt. That will always be my like Mount Rushmore title. It's just gorgeous. And then again, I also love the NWA title. That title is just
it's a sexy belt for sure.
Yes, right. SCG, we know you're old.
I'm old, but I didn't start till I was a teenager.
Yes, yeah, I watched about 89-ish, so not too far behind STG. How old are you then, STG? We got to be about the same age, I'm guessing. Probably pretty on par.
Go on, STG. We want to know. I'm 30. He's 38.
He's still younger than me. Jesus.
He's only a year old. He's only a year older than me.
Yeah.
He's 7 years older than me.
I've almost got 4 years on him.
Shut up. Goddamn child. You goddamn child.
I had to say that because I knew what you two were going to do. So I was like, I'm going to piss everyone off.
What's weird, for the longest time going to indie wrestling, the group I used to sit with before my one buddy passed away, and the group kind of fell disbanded. People stopped coming. I was the young pup of them all because everybody else was like 10 years older than me. It's just the people I started going to wrestling by myself, and these people were like, "Hey, come sit with." Or I just talked to them in line. They're like, "Come sit with us," right? But that's indie wrestling as a whole, right, Bobby? You just invite people. You just become friends with random people. And I was the young guy for so many years. Now I'm going to indie wrestling. I'm one of the old. Me and Mel and Andreas are the old people in our group of friends. It's weird.
It happens with time.
Right. By the way, can I just point out, STG, what he just right? This is the old man comment I have ever seen on this channel so far. Just by the way, that is an old man comment. That is.
Yeah.
Oh,
to be fair as well, I feel that's. I get you.
And it's funny because apparently I'm the same age as STG's sister, yet he calls me Daddy Bobby all the time.
What
There's a joke to that. I am not touching. There's a joke to that. I'm not touching.
As he's talking about all these 20-somethings coming up, it is so effed up that I was 17 years old when Javon Evans was born. How messed up is that? that dude is 20.
Oh,
Javon
no.
Evans is 20. And he is legitimately becoming one of NXT's top guys. How messed up is that?
I would have been 11.
Yeah. Jesus, man.
I'm only saying that just so Andre's face. That's literally the only reason. All right, come on, Bobby. I can see you getting ready to do the games.
No, I was just gonna say, fucking kids just making me feel old all the time.
By the way, SCG, Bobby's already cheated this week. He's already cheated this week already.
Yeah, that goes. See it likewise for all of us.
She makes me feel old. Like I'm not that. I think I'm 11 years old, and I think she's 19 or 20. She still makes me feel old.
She was born the year I graduated high school.
Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Because yeah, that's right. I'm old. I get it. I'm feeling it. It's hurting every single bone and muscle and everything like that. It's harder to get out of bed, other than to the 900 times you have to get up to take a whiz in the middle of the night because you're old.
That's the one thing I haven't had a problem with yet. I don't have to whiz in the middle of the night yet. I'm good. My body. It's once maybe a week that my body wakes me up to take a whiz in the middle.
Wait till you're 41.
So I had that the other day, and I've had that every other day since then, where I never used to get up during the night for a pee, and then I used to always go. And this is how lazy I've got as well. All right. Graphic, ladies and gentlemen. I'd sit down to wee before I go to sleep just to make sure it's all out, and then I go to bed, and then I go and lay down, and I go to sleep, and then about an hour later I go, I need to go again. Yep. And then I don't need it again after that. But I'm like, and then I sit down again and do it. And I'm like, why couldn't you just get all of it out when I sat down about an hour ago?
Yeah. Then it happens, and then just wait till you get to the point where it's every couple hours. Yeah, it's
oh god,
real world old man problems right there. But
Bobby, you might want to invest in Depends, bro.
No, not getting that old. Not happening. No, I will. Survive
Bobby's
and make
repping
it.
a Papa Smoke shirt tonight because it's Papa. There's Popeye smoking. Papa smokes.
That's right. It's Papa. Papa smokes. Right
there.
That's it. There's a Papa Smoke shirt.
That sounds like a Lady Gaga song there. Papa. Papa smokes.
So speaking of Papa Smokes, I know that he's going to be tuning in to the CFL's Grey Cup here today because his Winnipeg Blue Bombers are in the finals for the 5th year running. So Papa Smokes is going to be enjoying some, what was he telling me? Smoked oysters and watching the football game and having some beers. So
what are the Blue Bombers? Some kind of like amateur team?
Amateur team. Yeah, only won 2 out of the last 4 Grey Cups and been involved for 4 of those. Now they're in a 5th one in a row.
That's that amateur championship, right?
That amateur championship. Yes, Papa Smokes is a Manitoba guy. He was born in Winnipeg. That's why he grew up going to Vern Gagne's AWA matches and where his love for wrestling came from. And then, and then he moved out to Saskatchewan and he hates the Rough Riders.
So, do you know what the funny thing is? Us 3 have complained how old we are. Papa Smokes would literally smoke us out of the water.
In more ways than one.
Yep. I agree.
Everybody associated with OLE outside of Astrid could smoke me out of the water. 100%. I guarantee it.
Does anyone really want to see Astrid try and do it, though? Because I do. That's something that we should do. Like a premium thing.
Dude, I try. We tried. We tried. Email tried.
Not happening. Not happening. All right, guys. That time of the week, it's NFL time. It's NFL time. We're starting it off with the Cleveland Browns at the New Orleans Saints. And I bet you'll be surprised by this one. We're actually picking the Saints.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Browns
No,
have
no,
just
no,
come
no,
off
no,
a bye
no,
week.
no, no. Ed is picking the Saints because he already sent the list
Yeah.
of picks. Yeah.
I filled out the thing.
Yeah, with Ed's picks.
Prove it.
Ed told me. Ed told me live on the show that he was sending you a list of picks. So
I think Ed might have been drunk that day.
I wish he was drunk. It would have been more exciting.
I would love to see Ed drunk, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go
I want to
Saints.
say Browns just to be bold, but it's too bold in my opinion. Yeah, Saints.
Well, they have just come off a bye week.
SCG. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with SCG. It's gonna be the Saints.
All right. Next game, and Mark might be shocked by this one. The Las Vegas Raiders are at the Miami Dolphins, and we're going with the Dolphins.
Remember, SCG, we need to be bold. It's Dolphins. I think it's Dolphins, depending on what SGG says. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. This is not the game.
Yeah, not the game to be bold.
Hey, I wonder if Mark will pick the Raiders.
Fuck no.
All right. Well, I think I can already fill out the next one for us. Is the Jaguars are at the Detroit Lions. All those fuckers cost me last week.
Oh yeah, because you picked Texans, didn't you?
Yes.
And Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions and still won the game.
Yeah. But let's not kid ourselves. It's against the Lions.
Yeah, Lions. It's Lions.
Yeah, Lions.
Yeah.
It's the Lions, man.
Even I know enough at this point, guys, to have got that one. Like, come on.
Don't get me wrong. This isn't a perfect team. Don't get me wrong. They're not the Lions aren't a perfect team. Far from it, but
it's the
they're
Lions.
not losing to the fucking Jags, man.
Can I say this? And I'm going to call it. I'm not calling it now, but I'm going to put a little thing on it. Super Bowl will be Chiefs versus Lions.
Will the Lions win? That's the question. Or
no?
Will the script keep going?
Yes, Swifty and the army. Swifty and the army. Imagine it. Anyway, carry on. I'm going to go way off topic there. Anyway, yeah, I'm going. Lions. Carry on.
Mark's just open for a halftime show.
Oh, yes, please. Oh my God, yes. We've got.
Who's the halftime show at the Grey Cup this year? There, Bob's.
Oh, I could look that up real quick.
Yeah, I thought maybe you might know if you were watching it today or not.
No, I don't typically watch Grey Cup, but
yeah, I don't like watching amateur football either.
I'll watch it if people I know are watching a lot of the time.
If you're gonna go hang out with somebody and watch it, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, let's just see halftime show.
Kendrick Lamar's doing the Super Bowl.
It's got the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, I want to watch.
Ugh.
That actually sounds good to me. I like the Jonas Brothers, so
yeah, I quite like the Jonas Brothers. They're all right.
I love bad pop. I love bad pop music, man. Let's go.
Yes, come on, Andre, join me. Join me, Andre.
Dude, I'll say this right here, and I because I remember being in the Discord. We was around earlier this year, and I was bragging on Taylor Swift to Astrid, and then I went and watched the Eras tour on Disney Plus, and I was like, oh, because I do like a few of her songs. I'm like, oh, I like more songs than I realized.
Clearly not as many as Papa Smokes.
No. I think Papa Smokes might be the biggest Swiftie in OLE, more than Astrid.
I mean, you can't deny it. When he cleverly put together that whole reply to me featuring nothing but Taylor Swift songs, you knew at the heart of that old man would lie to Swiftie. So,
do you know what we should do on OLE? The Eras tour watch along with Papa Smokes and Astrid.
Oh God. Okay. Papa Smokes. That would be the one time that he seemingly has some sort of a family emergency he has to attend to every time right before it goes live. Sorry, I have to bail. Sorry. As much as I'd love to.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
Oh god, that would make
Oh.
Andre and Bobby's ears bleed and Mark's.
I like Taylor Swift. That would be just seeing him. It's watching Taylor Swift would make my life. I think
It's like such the furthest thing from what Bob Smokes ever sits down and watches or
Exactly.
listens to, for that matter.
that's why it would be comedy gold. It would be comedy gold. That's why.
Like
Right,
anyone
next
who's
game.
ever paid attention to Papa Smokes making any musical references outside of doing it jokingly like that, it's like so obscure and a lot of stuff that people haven't necessarily even heard of before. So like he's the furthest thing for someone who's going to listen to a pop sensation on the radio typically, but
Needs to happen.
I mean, he works at a pub, so he's around independent music all the time. So a lot of the stuff he listens to and enjoys is bands you've probably likely never heard of. So, going on to the next game, gentlemen, we got the Minnesota Vikings are taking on the Tennessee Titans. Ed and I are going to go to the Vikings this one.
Yeah, I'm going Vikings.
Vikings. Dude, it's the 7-2 team versus the 2-7 team. Like, there's a chance for an upset, but it's not going to happen.
There is a game that I do think there's a game that Andre and STG will win compared to us, and I think but I'm gonna wait to see.
Don't tell them.
No.
No.
I'm gonna see who they pick first before I say it.
Last thing I need is for Ed and I to fall in the third fucking place. I mean, that's gonna.
No,
Yeah,
that's what I'm. That's
The
what
one thing
I
I'm
want.
worried. The one thing I'm worried about with the Vikings against Texas is Darnold is not playing up to snuff. But yeah, this SG's right, and I just I want to pick Texans just for Sam Darnold's just the track record these last couple of games, but man.
Right. Well, so that was the Vikings versus the Tennessee Titans, wasn't it?
Yeah. So up next, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears, and we are picking
Stop
the
Bears. No, I mean, I'm not saying I'm actually picking the Bears. I'm just saying stop Bears just because I like saying it every time somebody brings up the Bears.
Well, the Chicago Bears have just sat there.
Next.
Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Packers because, again, it's just.
Yeah. Well, I'm very much on the fence with this one because the Bears have just sat their offensive coordinator when everyone didn't want him. They might be a little bit freer into going for things than what they should and what they were playing before. So there might be a little bit of going for it. Don't you think, Andre?
It's possible, but.
Don't you think, Andre?
But the Packers are going to win this? Yeah.
No, go the other way.
Okay, Bears. Stop Bears.
I'm going Packers.
I have SGC support. I have SGC support and gambling on this one, so the Bears.
Well, that was quite the sell. I got to give Mark credit on that one.
We got me and SG have a lot to really make up for here, so I'm good with this. I'm good with the Bears.
They need to do something to help him because whatever the play calls they've been doing right now has been absolutely horrific. So,
well,
right.
with this reset of their offense, maybe they're going to do something better.
I hope so.
All right. Who do you guys got when the Baltimore Ravens visit the Pittsburgh Steelers? We're going to go to the Ravens.
Oh, that's not an easy game.
So this is the game I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, like the Ravens are. Yeah, Steelers.
No.
Because again, this is a crapshoot game, man. Like
So
I have both of these. I'm in a 2 QB league. I have both these. I have Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson starting this week.
So if we're going to go by stats, according to NFL app, Ravens are number 1 in points per game. Then they're second in passing yards per game. They're first in rushing yards per game. They're fourth in total defensive sacks. And they're 16th in total defensive interceptions. With the Steelers are 16th in points per game, 28th in passing yards, 10th in rushing yards, 22nd in total defensive sacks and 7th in total defensive interceptions. So go stat-wise, you would go Ravens. But because this is at Steelers, then I am very struggled to. I don't know who to go for with this one.
Come on, Mark. Join the revolution. Swing that towel.
The last time they played each other was in 2024. Hold on, I need to get it back up. I've just fucking lost it. Where is it? They played each other in January the 6th, 2024, a playoff game, I think, or the end of the season game. And the Steelers won 17-10. And I don't know, where was this being played? Was this at the Steelers or at the Ravens? It doesn't say. I'm going to go Steelers. I just feel like it's going to be Steelers.
Man, Bobby and Ed are screwed. They're not going to get a point on this one. That's too bad.
It was
Mark, you absolute numpty. Why would you make that pick?
Why does his face always have to turn up? We could have had a nice week without his face. And he somehow
I was missing that. I had to. Come on.
I'm going to go Steelers. I think that, I don't know, just something about Russell Wilson at the moment. Just he's been really good, and the Ravens are a bit. I'm not sure about them, but they're 7-2 compared to 7-3 compared to the Steelers, who are 7-2. So,
all right. Well, let's see
so
what
really,
you guys
the
pick.
Steelers are technically the better team because they've lost less.
Yeah, but they haven't had their bye week yet, have they? I don't think.
Steelers did.
Have they?
Well, they're only 7-2, where the Ravens are 7-3.
Yeah, so they played one game less.
Ravens haven't had the bye week. Oh yeah, so the Steelers have had their bye week. Ravens have not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
All right. Los Angeles Rams are at the New England Patriots, and of course, we got to pick Ed's team. It's the Patriots.
Oh, it's Rams.
Right. I as long as I've got the support, Rams. But
the Patriots won last time out, didn't they? When Ed didn't pick them.
Yep. Sure did. That one hurt.
Yeah, I bet that did.
See, I got my support. Rams, it is. Gonna ram it up that Patriots ass.
Oh, I'm actually going to change my mind. I'm going to go Patriots.
All right.
Oh, he's making sure he's shoring up his points, making sure Bobby.
He's trying not to let us have too much of a possible edge right here. I see where he's going with this. I see where he's going. But...
Wow. A smart pick by Mark? Things must be wrong in the universe.
I'm very happy that I changed my mind.
I'm very happy I still have those videos. All right, we got
Andre's just taking a picture of us.
Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
all right. Atlanta Falcons are at the Denver Broncos, and we took the Broncos.
Oh, 5-5 versus 6-4.
Wait, what game are we talking about? Sorry, I was busy.
It's the Atlanta Falcons at the Denver Broncos.
Oh,
Stats wise, Falcons are slightly better. Actually, to be fair, the Falcons know how to throw the thing. The last time this is a great stat. The last time they played against each other was November the 8th, 2020, and the Falcons won 34-27. No, I'm going to go Broncos.
Broncos?
Yeah. Just think defensively, they're better. That's the only way I'm going with them.
Okay, Denver. It is. I'll do that.
To be fair, Denver should have beaten the Chiefs if they could actually kick a field goal. So that was absolutely wild. That blocked field goal for the Chiefs to win last week. Absolutely wild.
All right.
Yeah, it is. That is the only reason I'm picking Denver.
Mm.
That's what.
Yeah,
they have a great defense, and the Falcons don't have a strong enough offense to.
Well, then,
and has shown glimpses of goddamn brilliance when he wants to.
So the Falcons are 9th overall in points per game, 3rd overall in passing yards per game, and 9th overall with rushing yards per game are the Falcons. Not bad stats, to be fair. On paper's yeah, they do.
On paper.
Yeah.
On field, maybe not so much. Who knows? All right. What do we got when we got the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Los Angeles Chargers? We've gone with the Chargers.
That's Sunday night football, yeah. This game is horrible. Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers.
Okay, Chargers. STG's pondering like.
Shall we be bold? And
shall they? What do you guys got to lose?
I would like to be
STG's
bold.
paid up already. I mean, it's
all I got to do is throw some water on my head at the end of the year. So I'm down. Well, that's all I got to do is just throw ice water on my head. Who cares?
Outside in the cold.
Let's point it up. Bengals it is. Bengals it is.
All right.
Where Burrow can dust his arm off for a game to get us some points.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Seattle Seahawks are at the San Francisco 49ers. We've gone with the 49ers on this one.
49ers. Hold on. Wait, Andre. Hold on. Wait for him to message. Wait for him to message.
I'm leaning being bold with the Seahawks. I'm leaning being bold, but I don't think it's a bold pick for us because I know what his pick is going to be.
I mean,
baby. Let's go. Dude, they have very similar records, 5-4 versus 4-5. So it's not like you're taking a giant gamble going with the Seahawks in this game. Like, it's not crazy.
It is.
But it makes it that much more entertaining. So the viewers have spoken. They're taking Seattle.
Yeah. I've seen the stats. It's not it. Yeah.
All right. Kansas City Chiefs are at the Buffalo Bills. We've gone with the Chiefs.
How about those Chiefs?
How can you not pick? And this is the game where everybody knows Josh Allen can't beat Patrick Mahomes when he needs to.
Because Josh Allen is a fraud. That's why.
If my partner's cool, it's true. He can't beat him in the playoffs.
Because he's a fraud.
No, it's because it's the script.
No, because he's a fraud.
I want to go Bills.
I would. If I would.
Teammates even saying it. Let's do it. We're doing it. Bills it is.
Wow.
We're taking shot, Bobby. This is either going to work out well, and we're going to be like right up with you this week, and Mark, and yeah. Or
Jesus,
we are.
If your guys is swinging for the fences works this week, you're going to be nipping at Mark's heels by the end of this week.
Do you know what? I really hope that it pulls off for him. I just really hope that it does. It will be so funny if it does. It'll be so funny.
Entertainment value, yes, but for me, it'll be a complete embarrassment.
Well, either way, it doesn't matter if you're second or third here, Bobby. If Mark wins, we got to pour water on her head.
So that's right. I mean, either way, I'm probably getting the ice bucket. So
no,
I'm probably getting it with the English Premier League stuff too. So
as Ricky Bobby said, if you ain't first, you're last. So
I'm going to make an amendment to it. I'm going to make an amendment to it. If Andre finishes second, after how far behind they are, no ice bucket.
Oh, I'll live up to it. I'll ice bucket because I got beat.
I will personally, we will make an episode dedicated, even if I win, right? I was going to make an episode dedicated straightly for myself because I just want my ego to play bigger. But if Andre and SCG come second, they will have a whole episode dedicated to them because it will be the greatest comeback ever.
It really would be.
Mhm.
It really would be.
Then
And
it just ends with
really
me
want it to
dumping water
happen.
on my head. Then it just ends
And-
with me just dumping water on my head.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're coming back here. We're making bold picks. We're doing we're going crazy today, man.
It will be bigger than Liverpool in Istanbul. It'll be bigger than Brady versus the Falcons. It will be bigger than any lead ever. It'll be bigger than the Red Sox versus the Yankees in that time because I watched a documentary on it recently. It'll be bigger than that. But yes, it would. Yes, that will happen.
All right. Well, to the bold pickers, who do you got when the Colts take on the Jets?
You did that last week as well.
I know I did. It's in Indianapolis.
I'm sorry.
Goddamn.
There is no chance of a bold prediction here. It has to be the Colts because the
Yeah.
Jets are. But again, both teams are shit.
Yes.
But the Colts are obviously a better team.
Yeah, we picked the Colts.
Yeah, I'm going
It's
Colts.
the Colts. It's the Colts. And if
Yeah.
I'm wrong, well, whatever. But this game, he's wrong. He's right. This game sucks. Like he's right.
The game
Yeah,
does
but he wants the Jets.
No. No.
Oh.
FPG, this is your problem. This is your problem.
It's not
They-
Flacco. Ooh.
Well, Anthony Richardson's better anyway. This is your problem, STG.
Bobby
There's-
Stats.
Hello, Bobby. There's going bold and then there's going stupid. Chill. You're doing well. You need to slowly catch up. You don't need to do all of it in one episode. Okay? Chill. I'm even
Get at
trying
least
to help
one
you.
guaranteed point out of this.
This is a shit game, but
Do not pick the Jets, Andre. Do not pick the Jets. I swear to God, Andre.
but I don't want to disappoint STG because he's my partner.
Oh,
in crime.
FPG's just disappointed the whole bloody series of how crap he's been.
Colts it is. Colts it is. Sorry, bro. I'm going Colts.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
He's letting them take that one. All right, interesting. Okay, we got two more left to go. We got the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. We're picking the Texans.
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 Don't. Thank you. Jesus, Andre, I was worried for you for a second.
For one, STG would never let me pick the Cowboys, and for two, fuck the Cowboys.
All right, so we're Texans across the board. Texans across the board. All right, last game that we got here, gentlemen. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. We went with Steelers.
Oh, that's for next Thursday, right?
Yeah. Steelers. Don't,
Yeah, it's
Andre.
Steelers.
Don't,
It's-
Andre, don't.
No, it's Steelers. I was like, ooh. I was fucking with you, Mark. Come on, man. I'm not
Jesus.
Even SDG's
I'm-
agreeing with you this time.
I'm bold. I'm bold, but not that bold. I'm not that bold.
That's almost as bold as picking the Dolphins last week and pulling that one off. So.
You don't understand how happy I was when I saw that, by the way.
Oh, I believe it.
My God.
I've seen when you get happy during sports. I believe it. Hope you guys are having a great. We're having a fantastic Sunday, Bobby.
Oh,
Thank
this
you
has
very
been a
much,
great episode.
my friend. It has been a great episode. It's good to get.
Just know me and STG are repping for the viewers. We're being bold. We're going to beat Bobby. It's what's going to happen?
That's the new goal. Beat the Ogre Lord.
Beat the Ogre Lord and the Troll. Beat the Ogre Lord and his troll.
Yeah.
Ed the troll.
Okay, I thought I was in there then. I was
No,
like,
no,
hold on.
The Ogre Lord and his troll. Then there's just a magnificent Mark in
Oh,
this movie.
Oh, jeez. Look at all this butt kissing going on here.
It's
Thank
not
you,
bad,
STG.
No, Bobby, don't get upset that me and
Why
Andre
would I
love
get
each
upset?
other. I can hear it in your
Next
voice.
Saturday, STG, myself, and it should be Lauren Goodnight and Auntie Collins and possibly others if they want to join us. Come hang out with us here as we review.
Isn't it the Saturday after that Survivor Series? The Saturday after that,
Yeah. This coming Saturday is Full Gear, and the one after that is War Games.
I'll be
I will
there.
not be there for that one, but
I will.
I might have to if
I will. I mean, it's Canada. Might as well rep Canada.
You gotta do it. You gotta do
Yeah.
it, Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby has to. I don't.
Well, forward to see who gets WWE ID. They're just stamping it on everybody now.
Well, there's an indie show this afternoon in Ontario that they're announcing a new WWE ID.
Yeah, I know.
I'm hoping for Von Vertigo to be the WWE ID because he's on that show. Because I think Von Vertigo is absolutely stellar.
They'll go after with some of the ladies. We got top ladies here in Canada. I'm sure there's somebody on that card. It's got to be involved.
Oh, Alexia Nicole, maybe?
Possibly. Very, very possible. So,
So
I mean, a lot of crop of talent here that are really good. Zoe Sager to get WWE ID. She probably will. She probably will.
No.
Why do you say no? Don't want her to go away?
Oh, I want her to go away, just not to the WWE. No, she's really good. There's only really one person in the local independent wrestling scene that I would say no to, and I think
I could
Bobby
take my
knows
guess.
who I'm talking. Bobby knows who I'm talking about.
We won't call anybody out here on this show. That's not what we're doing here.
No, Zoe's great. I joke. Zoe's
Ooh, call it out.
No, it's not happening. What we will do.
I've called them out on my show. I called them trash, so don't worry.
Okay, well, check out Andre's show for that then if you want to see that kind of stuff.
It was earlier this year. It was earlier this year.
Tell them all about your show, where you can be found, and what you got coming up then.
You can find for my stuff that I do with our good friend Melball Collins. We do it over at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk, youtube.com/@Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can find us talking about Japanese professional wrestling. You can find us talking New Japan, Stardom, Mari Gold, and then you can also find us covering the local independent wrestling scene, which we'll be having a new show coming out next week because we're going to be going to the CWE show live in Edmonton this coming Friday that features Juventud Guerrera. Let's go Hoovy, baby. The man who inspired my PSN name, Hoovy Juice. When back in the PS3 era, I made that, and I made Hoovy Juice. So I was a big fan of Juventud Guerrera. I loved his WWE run. I don't know why. I just really did the Mexi Cools.
Mm-hmm. I remember them
on their wand ears.
But yeah, then you can also, and then you can find me on the X and Blue Sky at That Canada Guy, and all the other stuff at That Canada Dude. You can find me. My company's running a branch. Nothing.
But you know what is good about it is Andre and Melball or their STG. You can go meet our good friends.
Yes, I will happily meet with you if you come to town there, STG. I will take you to a wrestling show. We will have a good fucking time, buddy. And then you can also find mine and Melbo stuff all over at A Plus Production or Japanese coverage over at A Plus Productions in audio form. Check us out over there. aplusproductions.com, the A Plus wrestling feed. And then you can also see me this coming Friday for the Japanese Wrestling Update, but that will be a pre-recorded edition as we are going to be at CBW, as I said. And then the week, and then you'll see me next Sunday, where I might be hanging my head in shame. I don't know. Or I could be celebrating, going, I'm better than Bobby and Ed, but I don't know. And then you can find me on the 27th. Me and Ed will be back, MCU Rebound. We are breaking the order. We are pulling Black Widow to where it is in the timeline, and we're going to review Black Widow for the MCU later. Not MCU later. MCU Rebound. MCU later is a show on a different network. MCU Rebound. So come check us out.
Great film.
Mark, what do you got coming up? Where can the people find you?
You can find me now on Blue Sky at Mark Talks because I'm not doing that X bollocks anymore. You'll get some notifications, but I'm mainly going over to Blue Sky now. But on Mark Talks Gaming, we're carrying on the Ferrari save where we are close to the end of the season. I already know where we finish, and I know one episode I lose my temper. And also, We're on Mark Talks Football. Starting tonight is the final ever episode of Unemployed to GOAT Challenge, where we will be seeing if we can win the Brazilian League and the Copa Libertadores for the second time. And starting tomorrow will be a save that I am doing with Bobby Money Munson, where he is the director of football. He has sole control over the whole of the football club, the transfers, the players, the formation, the everything, finances, all of that. All I do is try and make work of what he's given me and see how we get on. So that will be tomorrow. And on Mark Talks Wrestling, it's the start, or it's Evolution tonight. Jordan Grace has a mystery guest for her defense of her Evolution World title. Plus, Jade Cargill will be going one-on-one with the final time against Mercedes Monet. And we have a tag team match as well for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And tomorrow is the start of Money in the Bank as well. And all I can tell you is during the week, we finish off the UK tournament, the WWE UK tournament, and we are crowned a new champion next Sunday. But you want to see the build-up to that because the match is phenomenal. And Bobby has full control on Sunday as well of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And by the way, I can't stress this highly enough. I need everyone to watch tomorrow's Money in the Bank episode because the winner you will not expect. I'm just saying that, right? Bobby knows, but you will not expect who the winner is. So make sure you go and check that out.
It's going to be fun. Can't wait. Check it out. As Mark said, what have I got coming up? I've got something cool coming up this Thursday in conjunction with the University of Saskatchewan. Myself and Papa Smokes are going to be live on location at Louis' Loft presenting Ring Respect Radio's trip through the territories along with what is called Queering the Ring. We're going to be talking about the LGBTQ plus community wrestlers that have graced the ring here in Saskatchewan and across Western Canada, as well as diversity of professional wrestling through the years, and then a trip through the territories talking all about the history of professional wrestling right here in Saskatchewan. For those who can't be live with us in person, you're going to be able to watch right here live on our local establishment and the Video Bros Network, as we will be broadcasting as a regular Ring Respect Radio episode. The only difference is if you're in the live chat, we will be taking Q&A at the end of the program. So we won't be going to the chat during the stages of the program like we regularly do. But that is due to the fact that we will be live on location with a live audience with us. Aside from that, of course, who knows, maybe I'll show up at the Full Gear thing next weekend. I'm not 100% sure yet, depending on my schedule. And of course, right back here with you guys on Point of View next Sunday. So look forward to that. And all of this can be found at our local establishment. OLE podcast right across the board, every social media, YouTube, Twitch, the whole shebang. We're there. Follow us on all of them. And we even have a Blue Sky. OLE caught up to all the kids, and we got a Blue Sky now too. So another one to add to your list of things to follow for OLE podcast, so you can find out when we've got new content coming at you from wonderful contributors from all across this amazing planet. So that's going to be it for us this week on Point of View. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you in 1 week's time. Take care, everybody.